So Leute, ihr habt den geilen Shit gerade gesehen.
Ihr habt den gesehen.
Ich glaube, ihr habt auch alle eure Metadaten auf OpenSea schon aktualisiert.
Hoffentlich habt ihr was von mir.
Ja, genau. Also ich hatte gerade Pech, aber ist egal. Nee, ist ja auch von dir, gell?
Was?
Der Roboter?
Nein.
Nee, der ist nicht designt.
Nein, das ist nicht mein.
Dann haben die uns ja falsch erzählt.
Nur die Minis sind von mir.
Okay, ich besorge mir noch so ein Mini und jetzt wollen wir natürlich die Chance nicht verstreichen lassen, euch zu grüßen. Und zwar direkt aus Austin. Weil wenn ich mir schon die Mühe mache, hierher zu fliegen für ein Party, nur Spaß
Natürlich.
dann gehen natürlich Grüße an euch raus, gell?
Von mir auch. Ne?
Ciao.
Schöne Grüße.
Absolutely wild, absolutely wild. But all right, Lars, Patrick, Dennis. We want to talk about what's next. What's the? No, I lied. I've changed my mind. What I would like to know is you all came together because we're talking about Web3, we're talking about expansion, and I heard that there were challenges. I would like to know how that process looked, what that was like.
Which perspective? Patrick's perspective, Dan's perspective, Dave's perspective, my perspective. I suggest I do a quick roundup.
Yes, let's do a
That's great.
roundup.
You have a personal take on that. So basically, we were in Miami and Art Basel in November, and we launched it. We announced the project, and we got a lot of positive feedback from the Web3 community. And we announced that we could mint our NFTs then in January, and it also was quite a very positive reaction out there. Lots of people interested. And there was a really interesting point because for us, as I said, the main target was to build a community. And when you bought one of our NFTs, there's actually a lot of really cool utilities attached to that. Lars alluded to events. And this is not just normal events. These are events where not the normal customers can go. So we were really happy with these special things. Also, there's going to be physical merch, other benefits attached to that. And we chose a price point, which in our point of view was a fair reflection of that. 0.911 ETH. Which is, Andrew?
Oh, like how much money it would be?
Yeah, just
it would be, well, depending now, it'd be like $1,000.
Yeah, 1,400. And the moment we said that, there was a very big backlash in the Web3 community because people were accusing us of trying to take money out of the space, just, being in there because we were, looking for generating additional revenue from ownership. And that was a difficult moment because, especially on Twitter, the sentiment was very negative. And there was a weekend when, let's put it that way, all of us didn't have a lot of sleep because when you are in the middle of a project like that, and I don't know if some of you had the experience, the whole of the social media world is turning against you, saying things like, Porsche had hired your Web3 team, these guys don't know nothing about space. It's not easy. So we soldiered through the mint. I have to say it wasn't as successful as we had hoped because initially we wanted to offer 7,500 places to come on the journey with us. In the end, it was approximately a third of people who wanted to do that. And then we took, I think, the really good decision to cut supply and say, that's it. We will not wait for the rest of the NFTs to be minted. And I think that was a really important moment because that made people understand, okay, these guys are not waiting just to sell something and try to accumulate as much turnover as they want. They're serious to really do an exclusive community of people who want to explore what Porsche can do in the Web3 space. And since that day, I think the sentiment turned very quickly to a point where now I think a lot of people understand that we have a different take on space. We don't want to be there motivated purely by the financial or economical possibilities, but really because we want to build positive emotions inside the program. But as I said, and I really would love my friends here on stage to chime in, those 2 or 3 days when you're really in the middle of that criticism, they were hard. They were really hard.
I mean, I'm sitting here and I can only imagine because, like I said, I'm seeing the results of your collaborations. I'm familiar with the story. I'm familiar with a lot of people behind the scenes, and honestly, it hit me hard right now to hear that because I think we can all agree that the internet is a very rough place to be. And the fact that you all had to face that when you are so passionate and there is so much care put into what you do.
Thanks for keeping it so real. Like, I love a discussion like this where you're like, yeah, it didn't work the way we planned it. We got this backlash. Like, that's sick. I love a discussion where you just say it so directly and talk about how you handled that. That's cool.
And we shouldn't divert to a general discussion on the state of the internet and social media because we don't have the time here. But Patrick, maybe...
Yeah, Patrick had a few feelings.
No, but he has a really interesting experience in this.
Yeah, I have to say that I'm pretty new to Web3. I mean, through this whole project with Porsche, I entered Web3, if you put it like this. But the stuff that happened when we minted, that really surprised me. I mean, I like the Web3 scene. I like being part of it. But as you guys maybe realized, we, like the artists, were the first persons with their actual faces on the front, and people were like, they were insulting me, they were insulting my family. It was like, there was one guy telling me on Twitter, you ruined your name for the rest of your family's history. I was like, oh, okay. But now I'm in Austin, so it's turned out really quite
You know, I guess
there's a
also-
huge downside.
Yeah, really, also that ends well there. But I mean, with that, first of all, thank you for sharing, because I think it is a good reminder. You know, these talks sort of do that as well. The talks serve as an excellent means of really discovering the people behind a name or behind a project, but also the fact that then you all come up here and share with, you know, an entire group of strangers who have the common interest of learning a bit more. I think it's very important. But so that process, then, you know, the fact that you all kind of had to lean on each other and everything, that's how you push through. And also, I think you really sticking to the truth of what this project was for you, for Porsche, the fact that it's not just a money grab, and you were able to, you know, really prove that to the web community. I think that was a really wonderful opportunity. All that being said, all roads have led to, you know, working together and to the future. Can we talk a little bit about that, Lars?
Yes, please.
Yes, please.
You probably know that we did our first airdrop in the last week, and I would love to see the box which Patrick was designing for our minters.
We have
Wait
a
a bit.
beautiful, amazing tech
I would
team.
love to see
They're
the
gonna mute
airdrop
your
box.
microphone while they load it.
There we go. Yes.
Look at her.
That was our airdrop which we did last Tuesday. And today we would like to reveal what is in the box. And what my team was doing in background is they loaded all the metadata, and in the moment all our minters and the holders which are holding on the boxes are getting something what is in it. We had some hints on it, so you can see all our partners like, go back, that's not good. We have some hints like the wax sticker, the Patrick sticker, the Christopher Roy sticker, and the Paceman sticker. And today we would love to show you what's in it. One thing we have seen, I would say, but let's talk about it.
Wait, hold up though, is this you announcing it like in real life? Like
We
this is the
announced
launch of it?
Yes.
Let's
and
go!
What we can do is potentially that we're doing countdown, because you have seen it, but maybe we can do it a little bit more emotionally for our artists. So give me please a countdown and count down from 10 to 0, and then we can see what is in it.
Yeah, that's fun. Let's do
I love
that.
some group participation.
Yeah, I like this a lot.
All right, everybody, we clear. We're going to count down from 10 together.
Let's do this.
And this is very exciting. 10,
9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Go! The first one from Bex. So maybe you can explain us something, what you have put into our Austin luggage.
Yes, so I think I need to go back a bit and kind of the art that needed to tick a couple of boxes. So it needed to be able to get used as an avatar. It needed to kind of, you know, be, I think, artistic, or that's at least a goal of mine, like kind of fit my vision. And then also there will be merch linked to it at some point, so something physical. And it's kind of a companion to your Porsche NFT, like the main core NFT.
Sorry, the briefing was very hard, and we had a lot of discussions, but you did a pretty good job.
Sounds like the last briefing to me.
Yeah,
to be honest.
it was a tough briefing, but I was obsessed with air balloons for a bit. I don't know why. And so this is like my main character, Meta Dragon, And maybe we can go to the next one. Like there's a couple rarities, or no next one.
Not the next
Oh.
one. We will see the next ones on OpenSea or on Twitter. So we have one for you, but we did it free. Yes.
Yes, so 3 for each artist, for each lane. I'm the lifestyle lane.
Wait, can I ask maybe a dumb question? But with that box, who got that? Is it still available? Just because I do not have that, but I'm so interested and so excited. I'd imagine people in the audience are as well. So explain like that airdrop with that box. Who got it? Can people still get these? Like, what's that look like?
So first, everything which we're doing is done by purpose. So what we have is we have a car, so a 911 NFT. Then we have roads, so our whole day is very deciding which roads they are taking. So if you are liking the art between Patrick and the next, you should have to choose the lifestyle route, for instance. And then we need something like a co-pilot. And what Vince designing is your co-pilot. And you're riding now with your car on the lifestyle road with your companion. And then you can discover a lot of beautiful things in the next couple of weeks and months with us.
Wait, that's so sick. Like, that's a story. You're doing more than just an NFT, just an image. Like, you're telling a whole story. You're making a journey.
And maybe I can add, there is Ace, the man in black, and he has pour-ups, and somebody who would like to get a pour-up from his arm can get it, and if you are a holder from us, maybe you can use that one as well in the future, but I don't want to tell you what in the moment.
So let's stop and explain that, because I have a little idea on what that is, and that's sick, and that lets everyone here in this room be involved. So you're saying about proof of attendance protocol, where it's an NFC, so if you have a smartphone, you can come up to his sleeve, and that will register it, and then everyone here who has a wallet will be able to get something from Porsche today.
Yes, and it was designed by him, but let's see what Airdrop he was doing to come back to the original story, which we would love to explain. So, Patrick, that is yours.
Yeah, that's my companion. I designed some companions as well next to Bex and the other artists. And yeah, that's basically when Lars approached me to do a PFP, I was how do I put this? Not to sound inappropriate, but I wanted to hide. I wanted to say something about my pants before, but let's put it like hide because I never did a character before, and I was always inspired by tabletops and this nerdy RPG stuff. So I created some kind of tabletop mini figures for every route. So you guys will see it's getting pretty colorful, and yeah, that was my approach.
And we have another one to show today.
Another one?
Another one. But have in mind that there are more from Bex, more from Patrick, more from Christopher, which we haven't shown yet, so you can look it up on OpenSea, for instance. But what we have today is one more from Faceplan, and that we brought because you have Transformers in front of our booth, and let's see our Transformer for our NFT collection. So that is our companion, or one of our companions for the performance roads.
Just to be clear, these have never been seen before.
No,
Everybody in this
first time.
room, you are the first people outside of this team getting to see these awesome drops. This is very exciting.
I'm so glad that we didn't get to see them either. Like, I'm sitting here looking at them all, and I'm like, Patrick, you're so good at stuff. Why didn't you tell me? That's so sick. I love it.
Not to sit here and embarrass Patrick, but Patrick, Bex, you guys, this is so cool. This is absolutely wild. I would love to go back and reiterate one more time. For the people who are going to go up and they're going to take part in the the proof of attendance protocol. Oh, look at me learning things. Look at me learning.
Let's go.
So for those of us who are going to participate in that, because yes, your girl will be hopping off this stage and doing so, you don't have to be an owner of a Porsche. You do, you don't. You just, what do you need? What do you require, aside from your smartphone?
You need a wallet, and if you have a wallet, go to him. You can use your own wallet, and we was explaining. Use your NFC tag you're getting for. And this is made by him, so keep us in your memories and you're knowing that you were here in our talk today.
And can I maybe add, because I think your question is a great one. You see, we don't want this to be exclusive to the people who buy the physical product. So this is really our outreach to everyone who dreamt of being a part of a Porsche story, a Porsche community, maybe does not yet have the means to do so. And this is why this is a project that is really, really open to everyone. And this space is developing so fast. I mean, you know, if you're in first, you're last in Web3. And I think it's really, really important also for our brand that we were out there, courageous. Yes, we were taking it on the chin when there was negative feedback, but as you can see, we're still trying to evolve and also, you know, to get the excitement across in the next couple of months, because this is gonna stay a road full of surprises up until June.
Yeah, it sounded like there's just a whole lot of room for possibility, and really for the first time, potentially, at least in my time of being involved with Porsche, this is a rare chance to be a part of the community when, like you said, you might not yet have had the means to purchase a Porsche, to be part of the physical aspect of the community. So this is very exciting, and it's sounding like the sky's the limit.
Well, what stands out to me is like we had a chance to have just a meal together one night, and we were talking about the space, and you said something to me that I really liked, where it's not looking at NFTs as this value or this investment thing, but it's more just looking at a future technology and what it can represent. And I love talking to you all on this stage because it's not, you clarify, like it's really not coming from this place of, oh, let's make a bunch of money. It's just how do we embrace the future? How do we innovate? And that feels so Porsche. And I love it. And I love that you took risks. And I love that you're sharing some of what you learned in taking those risks, because this is new space for everyone. But it's just really cool to understand a little bit more behind the scenes what that took and how you all came together and what that's looking like. I love it.
Honestly, I couldn't have said it better myself, and I think that there's no better way to close out this discussion. I really want to take an opportunity to thank you, Lars and Patrick, Bex, Dennis. This has been such a special time, and to really, I could talk to you guys for hours on end, you know this already, and still not run out of questions. But in the meantime, it was such a wonderful opportunity. Thank you, thank you, thank you again for being here. I'm sad because part of our panel is about to jet off and go back home, leaving us. But like I said, this was such a wonderful space, a wonderful moment. Make sure that you take advantage of the co-op. If you have a wallet, I just downloaded one, I just made one backstage, so it's not that hard. Go ahead and do it. Andrew, actually, you know what? Before we officially close out, Lars, how can people follow this, support websites, anything, if they want to follow you and your journey or the team?
So look it up on Twitter and on our website nft.porsche.com, and you can find all the links to Discord and Twitter, and you can see there always the upcoming news, so stay tuned. And sometimes we are in Discord discussing, chatting, we have AMAs, so if you would like to know more about us, stay tuned, connect with us. We're looking forward to it.
And maybe one more teaser, because you saw the face plan element here as well, which is a whole other story, and we'll be talking about our cooperation with Face Plan tomorrow, also on this stage. So if you want to come back, it's certainly also a really interesting talk.
Please do, please do. Andrew, what's the hashtag if they would like to support Porsche in the space here?
Yeah, my last thing is just I'm a huge Porsche fan, and I love doing these talks. I love learning all of this, and I want to continue to convince Porsche to come back here and share things like this. So if you took anything away from this, if you enjoyed it, you took any photos of Bex's car, anything like that, if you post it, just use the hashtag Porsche SXSW so we can show them that people are out here enjoying it. It goes a long way.
In the meantime,
Do I have audio? Not yet. It'll come. It'll be there. Almost. No. Okay.
Are we just gonna have to project?
There we go. No, that's good sometimes because I'm ready to make a joke about the countdown right away. But then if the joke doesn't land, do I still have audio? Do I? Is it?
We're gonna be really close today. Hello, everybody.
Wow. Yeah. Oh, cool. Hi, everyone. I'm Andrew. This is Sydney. We're excited to be here, and we're sharing a microphone right now.
This is how you know that we have worked together before, or We're really good actors and we know how to pretend we like each other. I'm just kidding. I'm obsessed with him. My name is Sydney Ham. I am an actor, live show host. It's why I get to be here with you today. Andrew, do you want to introduce yourself to the people?
Yeah, sure. I mean, now that I have this microphone, why not? Hi, I'm Andrew. I host a podcast. I'm a huge Porsche fan in general. Been coming to South by for a very long time. So to be a part of these talks and to tell all of these stories and talk about these collaborations is something that I'm really excited about. And collaborating with you as a co-host. We're kind of collaborating, aren't we?
We're collaborating right now. This is what you
look, I have a mic again.
Right? You have a mic.
Cool.
You know what? I'll give you the floor.
Well, no. What if we just did it though? What if we committed to the
What if we just
bit?
stayed? This is the bit that you all didn't know you signed up for. All right. With that being said, we're going to go ahead and carry right on with the show. We're going to do a quick little pulse check since I'm over here. How is everybody feeling? That was really good. That was really good. But I'm going to be really annoying and ask you one more time because we have really cool people up here with us today, and I'd like them to know how excited you are. One more time, South by. How are we?
That was the best one. That was the best one.
Best one. Like, not to throw out superlatives over here, but y'all might be the loudest audience. So good on you. We're already off to a great start.
I'm fired up now. That was good. Thank you for that.
Honestly, thank you for being here. We have such an amazing topic. Like I said, we have the sickest guests here for you today. We have surprises, we have fun times. It's going to be amazing. You know what? We are going to go right down the line. And Lars, do you want to introduce yourself and your title to the people for me?
Hello guys, I'm Lars. I'm a former founder and nowadays I'm innovation manager for Porsche, and I had the pleasure to work with these beautiful people on the first NFT drop of Porsche. So I was doing the concept, designing everything with the guys, and to sum it up, I'm a creative technologist.
Everybody welcome Lars, please. Patrick, would you like to introduce yourself and what you do?
Yeah, hi, I'm Patrick. I'm 34 from Hamburg City, Germany. I used to be a very, very unsatisfied architect. Then I changed my career, like 90% of all architects. Maybe some people can relate here. And now I'm lead artist for the Porsche NFT project.
Yes! You guys are making my job so easy. I feel so spoiled right now. Welcome, Patrick. Thank you for being here. All right, Vince, would you like to introduce yourself?
I'm Vex. I'm 24, Belgian artist, and I made that car right there. I hand painted it. And I'm also the ambassador for the lifestyle route of the Porsche NFT project.
We love to see it. Everybody welcome Vex, please. Who here is familiar with Vex already? Yeah. Okay. We are so excited, you guys. You are in for such a treat. Dennis, you want to introduce yourself?
We know how to do this now. We got this figured out.
I think we need to collaborate on that line as well. So, hi everyone, I'm Dennis. I'm working in Germany. So, cute Germany. You've been to Germany, some of you? Yeah, there you go. In Porsche's marketing department, actually, I'm responsible for brand management and partnerships. And whenever something new comes along and you don't know where to put it in marketing, then most of the time people think, oh, those rapscallions in brand marketing, they can look after that. And this is how I found my way into this wonderful project with this wonderful fellas here on stage.
Welcome. We love to see it. We love that you're here. This is an amazing group of people. To start it off, there's so many moving parts, and we're just going to kind of dive right on in. Lars, real quick, I would love to talk about two things with you. Ready? Two. It's a two-parter. I love a multi-part question. Part number one. How did you get to your position? Did you know you always wanted to do this? And then what are the responsibilities of your job?
That is a tough one, and as a Porsche we're always dreamers, and that is why I have to answer the question slightly different, I would say. So as I was young, I was always dreaming of being an architect or designer, but unfortunately I ended up at Porsche, or luckily, whatever you would like to call it at the end. I would say, Dennis would say luckily. But then I'm working as an innovation manager, and I saw always a passion for technology, but always as well for the beauties of our cars and for artworks. And what I was imagined by working with this guy in the last couple of months, but as well with Vex, is that I'm more a designer and that it turned a little bit up that I'm now feeling more like an artist by working with these guys. And that is the beauty of our project, that I have my own professional journey and ended up somehow as a creative technologist, because this guy was telling me, now you are a creative technologist. It has nothing in common with my professional title, but that was how I ended up as the NFT guy at Porsche. But that was my journey, so always looking for new stuff and doing beautiful projects around it.
Well, I love that. So now, actually jumping to Patrick, that was a beautiful transition for me. Thank you, Lars, for doing my job so well. Patrick, how did you bring Lars in, or who approached whom here with the collaboration we're about to talk about?
Actually, Lars brought me in.
Lars brought,
Yeah.
okay.
I have a small boutique design agency in Hamburg, and we are mostly doing like architectural visualization, so it's still some architecture. And when was it? I think in last August. Yeah,
June, July last year.
Okay, yeah. The phone rang, and there was Lars on the phone, and he was like, "Yeah, I'm Lars from Porsche, head of innovation, and do you want to work with us?" I think I thought about that for like 0.01 seconds, and I said yes, of course. So.
I mean, my next question was going to be, how'd you feel about that? But I think it's safe to say excited.
Yes.
Yeah.
I immediately called my mom.
I would have pulled the same move. Lars, back to you real quick. What was it that made you decide that you wanted to venture into Web3 then, and embark on this for Porsche?
Porsche was mainly that I see a lot of comparison between Porsche as a luxury brand and Web3. Let's only take 3 points maybe. So if you are talking about scarcity, rarities in NFT collections, it is always that somebody is freaking out if we're doing like that. And some rumors say that we have upcoming rarities in our next reveal. And that's what have we, or maybe have we not? Can you explain it?
The airdrop?
No, the beauty
Oh.
here.
So there's gonna be the body paints will be revealed in a couple days, and there's gonna be some that kind of look like that. So I think the Porsche NFTs will kind of take on a whole new look. At least some of the lucky ones that get the new trades.
So the first one, luxury is luxury, and Richard works about as well in physical goods. And the other stuff which we can see quite frequently, that everybody loves great events. So having great events as a utility from an NFT project is always a good one. And if I can see you guys here in our event, and I can see what our event management guys can prepare and come up with, I always have the pleasure that we can say we have 8 events upcoming in the next couple of months where our holders can join, and that is a beauty. So that is something which we can rely on as well. The third thing is always having in mind communities, and we are a brand which is very good at handling communities. And if you see the last decades and coming up with all the Porsche clubs, and we're doing the same stuff in Web3 now. So we are ramping up a new virtual club, the Porsche Pioneers Club. And what we can see that a lot of guys from Porsche clubs in the physical way are attending in the digital Pioneers Club as well. And that is what I'm seeing, a lot of comparison between what we're doing usually as a business and what we're doing now. So it's not that different, to be honest.
I love to hear it. One of my favorite things that has come up in talks throughout this past weekend is the fact that Porsche as a luxury brand and as this, again, you've heard this word before from me, but as an icon, as a legacy name, a legacy brand, it has this very specific story that has spanned over 7.5 decades. The fact that there are minds like these and minds like yours who are really always looking to help expand the brand, help reach out to others and collaborate, and just really kind of take advantage of all of the artistic opportunities that help dreams like yours come to life, and then in turn make the dreams of the consumer an actual reality. It's just something that's very, very special. Andrew, did I see that you had questions? I saw your eyes glowing.
I just a thought, I love talking about this already because we're talking about this whole concept, and just the little bit that we've been able to spend time before this talk, like y'all are friends. Y'all are making something that you're genuinely having fun with. When I met you two, I thought you were just like long-time childhood friends. And as I see you explain this, it doesn't feel like this thing that's just like, oh, we have to do this. We have to embrace Web3 and here's this. It's like, there's real passion coming from all of you and these ideas. That's what I like to see in this. And even explaining bits of the Vision GT, we'll get more into it. But it's just, I'm kind of having a moment in real time up on stage, putting it together in more of a professional sense of how much passion and pride you guys put into all of this. And I love it.
I couldn't have said it better. Dennis, I would love for you to talk about how you factored into all this and your role as well.
Yeah, as I said,
Elaborate.
again, so there you go. As I said, of course, being responsible for brand management, Web3 is such a fascinating, like, experimental sphere. I think the role that brands play in our lives is fascinating these days. And as a consumer, I think you're all very aware of people who are trying, to put a certain message on you. And the only thing that you can do as a brand, not to be in that blind spot, is to be really true about what you stand for. And I think at Porsche, as you can see here today in that collaborative space, we use collaborations almost like to question ourselves. If we take away certain, let's say, certainties we have, what remains? What's the essence of Porsche? And Web3 for me is such a fascinating place, and that's why marketing wanted to be part of the journey with Lars and these guys, just to challenge yourself in front of a really interesting audience. What's the essence of Porsche, and what are people up to if we try to find a purely digital interpretation of what we can stand for? And I also think with Web3, a lot of you guys will be totally aware of that. It's a lot of volatility. It's a relative fresh space. There's been, a lot of hype, boom, there's been bust, there's been FTX, there's been the crypto winter, all these things. I always firmly believe, if you look at, the last 20, 30 years, the hype thing disappears at some stage, but there's always like a fundamental underlying truth. And I think in this case, the truth is that the next generation of consumers, and if I may say that, and if I look at my kids, I feel that at home as well, they look at digital goods in a way that is very similar that my generation was born and raised at physical goods. And that's what's really fascinating for us in this project, to learn and to stretch the boundaries of Porsche and see how can we create something purely digital that is, as Lars said, still fascinating, getting people together, creating a community. And I don't know if we're going to talk about that. It's been quite the ride, so it's not been, let's say, the absolute smoothest project we've done so far, but the learning curve has been tremendous. And that's maybe, Andrew, also why you feel that bond. If you go through certain things together, that's certainly, gelling people very, very strongly together.
Yeah, well, a common theme in everything we've talked about on this stage is everyone at Porsche really cares and is very passionate about what they do. So as we talk about this, it's an interesting challenge to be in the space and do it authentically. And the more and more I learn from all of you, I understand how your different strengths play into this and the different aspects that you're coming from and why they're all important and how you're working together. So it's cool. I'm literally learning in real time right now. It's so fun, so cool. So yeah, go ahead. Thanks, man.
I would love actually to bring Bex back into the fold. Hello, friend.
Hi.
Been a minute. How you doing?
I'm good. I'm good.
Good. All right, I want to talk about your art and your clear involvement in what all we got going today. Really quick, if we can give the good people in the building a little bit of background on you. When did you know art was the thing?
I think, I kind of started taking it seriously when I was 16. I had just done like a kind of a shitty holiday job, which I hated, and then I was like, fuck, I need to find something that I enjoy doing that I can do for the rest of my life as a job later. So that's when I started my Instagram, and I started posting every single day to kind of improve my drawing skills, but then also grow an audience. And yeah, behind me, so 2 years ago I kind of entered the NFT space because I'm really passionate about, I think I saw something that could be like revolutionary in the art world, and it's kind of these artworks that kind of stay alive. Like it's not just done when you do the last brush stroke and it's hanging in between. If through NFTs, through the smart contract, you can kind of program your art and it can kind of stay living on after it's done. So this, for example, is like a physical painting, but it has 2 screens embedded into it, connected to the Wi-Fi, and the artwork constantly changes depending on the price of Ethereum and Bitcoin. So it's hanging right now in a museum, in Mokko Museum in Amsterdam, and yeah, I know the reaction of people love, like, I don't know, it's a painting, but it also has these moving images, so that's good enough already for people to be like, whoa, what is this? But then if you know that like every day or every hour, it's actually, you're looking at something different, it's like an artwork that's never done. So that's kind of, yeah, kind of NFTs or this new medium that is inspiring me.
Dude, can I ask you a question on that? Because you're explaining that, and again, I'm like, that's so brilliant. But then as you explain your Instagram and your journey as growing as an artist, it sounds like it was this very just authentic, cool, I'm gonna draw every day and get better and better. Was there like a master plan behind this, or how did that come to be? Like, at what point did you have this idea where you're like, wait, that would be sick? Or was it more of just like a natural progression of your art and an idea one day where you're like, wait, what if?
It felt pretty natural. I think people assume that it just kind of exploded at one day or so, but I don't know, like when I hit like 1,000 followers on Instagram, I thought that was crazy, and then it just kind of keeps going, and I don't know, you kind of evolve. Like I would never expect that I would be doing this stuff like 5 years ago, and probably in 5 years I'm doing totally different stuff that I wouldn't expect now. And I think that's cool. You don't want to just do the same thing the whole time. So I think that's natural to kind of evolve. And I mean, yeah, 5 years ago I'd never heard about NFTs, and now it's my thing. I think about it every day. So.
I find that so inspiring. How do you find your style as an artist? I like
that was my next question.
It's like we're
You're in
co-hosts
my
or something.
brain.
Yeah, we're friends.
I think, well, I watched a lot of cartoons when I was young, like SpongeBob, like Adventure Time, like way too much. I went like after school, my parents were working, so I went to my grandparents, so there's nothing to do there except for watching TV and watching SpongeBob. So I think I would just like draw in front of the TV and kind of make these big scenes of like different characters. I think it's kind of spawned from there. And then also being bored at class and then like doodling on the side of my papers and shit.
So did you have formal training in art, or was this all self-taught?
Self-taught, yeah, because I never went to art school. I actually went to university for economics for 2 years, then I dropped out. So because I was doing this and it was going well.
I mean, for one thing, I have so many thoughts. I'm very excited, you guys. Apologies, but also I'm not sorry. Number one, the fact that this is something that was so outside of what you were anticipating for yourself and your life. I think.
I was drawing though. I just didn't feel like I needed. Like I went to visit the art schools, and there was just something missing. Like I was like, oh, I already have my style. I already kind of know what I want to do. So I don't need like 5 years to figure myself out and get grades from teachers that didn't make it in the world.
Well, exactly, and it's so crazy because one decision. Maybe if you had gone to art school, like you'd still be over there, and then we'd be here without you and without this gorgeous piece in front of us. Honestly, my brain is going in 47 different directions because I'm so excited about it. But I do want to comment before we move on to questions I have about the collab itself and about the par that's here. It's kind of fun because we had another artist previously. We had Daniel Arsham with us on this stage, and his style is so deeply driven by this desire to make you question and to make you think and to really cause this level of cognitive dissonance. And the fact that art can make us feel all these different things. It is a deeply emotional field, and it is something the emotional impact is something that Portia values so deeply. And the collaboration between the two of you, between Vex, between Portia, it just makes sense in my brain. And then also, I love the fact that you were inspired by the cartoons as a kid, because I watched a lot of the same ones, and anytime I'm looking at something by you, I'm just immediately so happy, And so just that range is something that's very magical to me. But anywho, enough about my nerding out and my, overabundance of glee here.
Oh, it's cool though. It's cool to learn about different artists. Like you said it well. Like Daniel's art makes you feel a different way. Art is art, and we like to learn about all of it.
You guys, this is how you know it's live. In case you weren't sure, we're not a screen. We're rolling with the punches. But yes, thank you. I'm so ecstatic about every single part of this, and the fact that you all are so passionate about what you do. That is the undercurrent of, the underlying theme of every single conversation we've had, just with the individual entities, the collaborations, and the brand that has brought us all together here today. So, speaking of said brand, shall we discuss the car? Shall we discuss the beginnings?
Yeah, we can. We absolutely should, and we should talk about how it's all incorporating into more and more that Porsche is doing with the whole space. I would love to. The first thought that I have on this car is, I don't know, as far as field trip, should we?
I would like to do a field trip. So something we love to do is, especially because we have the artists, we have the team behind the vehicle in-house with us. I think we're all gonna very carefully, gingerly, respectfully come on down and join you all. And if we can sort of gather around the car here, we're gonna ask some real in-depth and exciting questions.
Yeah, I think it's fun. I mean, we're here, we're on a stage, but we're standing right next to the thing we're talking about. So
Let's venture, team.
Why
Let's
not
venture.
take a look at it? Yeah, if you don't mind, Vince, Vex, this is a cool car. We actually saw it here last year, and it certainly wasn't in this state. And you were saying how you're a self-taught artist, and okay, cool, so we see these digital things. There's a whole other level of you're painting a priceless Porsche, right? Like, this isn't just a piece of canvas on an easel. Like, this is a car. This is a whole car. So how did you start? Like, was that a lot of pressure? Porsche comes to you and they're like, all right, paint a car. You're like, all right, I don't want to mess up your priceless piece here.